Today, I watched Dragons Rising Season 3, Episode 2, The Ultimate Object of Admiration at 0.25x speed. Thank you so much for all the support on the last one. It really means a lot. And if you want to see me do Episode 3, The Spectral Lens, just let me know in the comment section down below.
Hey, I think you dropped your doll.
Number 1, as this little kid is playing with this green ninja toy, if you pay attention to the foliage in the back, you see that it has a cactus, which is exclusive to the southwest deserts of America. It has a species of yucca plant, which is also largely native and exclusive to Southwest American deserts. And then finally in the foreground, you see a thorny shrub, which I think is trying to represent a mesquite tree, which in the real world, it is basically a giant shrub as it is depicted here, but it can grow into some tree-like forms given the right conditions, which throughout the rest of the episode, we see that. The reason I mention all this is because this biome in the first realm is the first time Ninjago is doing a Sonoran desert, which is where I live. They've done deserts before, but it's usually your traditional sand dune desert. Apart from the one where Hound Dog McBrog was racing in his police vehicle down a rapid river, that feels very reminiscent of the rapids you would see in the Grand Canyon. It looks like they really did their research because before Lloyd, Sora, and Frack fall into the Dragonian Storm Village, it seems like they're in an upland area, which is much higher in greenery and vegetation, which is very accurate to how the Sonoran Desert works. You could be in like dry, arid desert the 1 second, and all of a sudden it's green once the elevation goes up. It also makes sense that the Dragonians built inside a canyon to repel as much heat as possible, while also near probably the only river in the area, because that's how the Native Americans in the real world survived in the Sonoran Desert. They would build off of chutes of the main river. A lot of the rocks in this area also seem very rounded, hinting that either there's a lot of flash floods in this area or this whole area used to be underwater at a very ancient time, which is also exactly accurate to the Sonoran Desert because this used to be all underwater at one point in time. But yeah, in the end, when Roz is forcing Arin to pull him on the sled, Arin isn't kidding when he says they should take a break, get off of the sun for a bit, and put on some sunscreen, because here in the Sonoran Desert, temperatures can exceed 120 degrees. We literally get heat warnings where you just can't go outside because it's very dangerous.
Anything around here you need help with? I know how to water plants, fold laundry, make pies, whatever.
Oh, we can figure that out later.
Number 2, when Arin is invited into this very nice family's house, he grimaces for a second before going in. Now this can be interpreted in a lot of ways. We do see him get pretty upset as he leaves as well, and I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. His frustration with Roz, his frustration with Lloyd, him seeing this family that's very clearly a parallel to his. Number 3, in the intro, when the ninja are jumping from building to building with the arc dragon in the background, you really start realizing how big this thing is. I feel like we didn't really feel that originally in the flashback because it's Thunderfang versus the Arc Dragon of Focus. We didn't really see it in comparison to humans as much as we do see Thunderfang being compared in size. Number 4 isn't that deep, but Arin shouldn't be able to use chopsticks when feeding Roz. Chopsticks are a very finger heavy thing. I'm not even doing it right here, but you see what I mean? You need digits in the middle, whereas Arin only has the 2 clamps on each side, which isn't gonna work. The chopsticks are just gonna fall. Number 5, just take a look at this face Roz makes when he tells Arin to get up. Whoa. Number 6, as Roz is training Arin to be hateful and aggressive, Arin fights back and says this is not how the ninja would do it. But Roz immediately shouts at him saying the ninja are not his teachers anymore. This is a direct parallel to episode 1 where Frack and Lloyd have a conversation. Frack tells Lloyd that Roz told him that hate and aggressiveness is the only way, but Lloyd doesn't shout at him saying Roz isn't his master, and he doesn't even dismiss the teaching. Lloyd just politely says this is not the way of the monastery, and then tells him the real ninja way, because that is the difference between the ninja and Roz, and it's showcased excellently here.
These designs are beautiful.
It's an old Oni design.
What's an Oni?
Number 7, as Frack explains to Sora who the Oni are as well as the war between the Onis and Dragon, Sora asks why the Oni hated Dragon so much, and Frack just doesn't know why. I think this is interesting because it's kind of setting up the Oni to be more sympathetic, just like this entire season with Thunderfang eating all of the Onis. It's showing that there was some gray area. We don't even know why the war between Oni and Dragon started. Lloyd makes it very clear that it started before the first Spinjitzu master. So maybe the show's going somewhere with that. Number 8, when Sora and Frack are asking the old lady Dragonians for hints on Arin's whereabouts, Sora uses horns as a defining factor to see if Arin has gone through here. But the problem is Sora Sora or Frack wouldn't know if Arin had horns, because when he left in the Tournament of Sources, he just happened to be in his tournament suit, and he definitely didn't pack his old Season 1 suit when he left. As far as Sora and Frack are concerned, he's still in that suit. They have no way of knowing that Arin patched together a new suit extremely similar to his Season 1 suit. And to top it all off, Frack is the one who mentions the horns, and he hasn't even seen Arin in his Season 1 suit. Maybe he's heard of the horns somewhere, but it is still pretty weird that he's the one of all people to mention the horns here.
I don't want to turn around.
I am Powerlid, the ultimate Cyclops.
Number 9, I wanted to talk about the Cyclops being confirmed to be from another realm, and I wonder if this realm is the same as the one the tentacle monsters are from. All these seem to be very oblivious to elemental powers. Number 10, as the birds are tweeting in the trees and Rogue shows himself for the first time, I think it's interesting that they're leaning into the whole Jay bird aesthetic for Jay this season, especially with his exosuit being that of a bird.
He's annoying, but also strong.
Lloyd, you're Spinjitzu.
Yeah, feels weird.
Number 11, Lloyd does the dragon Spinjitzu for the first time, and I think it's really interesting how it works. So when Lloyd starts to spin, the dragon goes around the tornado very fast, but then after it reaches a certain speed, it almost looks very still. And I think what they're going for here is, if you've seen like a car wheel or anything moving in a circular motion really fast, after it reaches a certain speed, it starts to look very still. So I think it's really cool that they went for that here. Number 12, as the ninja tense up to fight Powerlid, Sora puts on her half mask first and then her hood, which wasn't really a crazy detail. I wasn't going to talk about it at all, but me being me, going insane watching this in slow motion, I started to think, where do her headphones go? So I look back and her headphones just disappear. Number 13, as Powerlid is chasing Sora, his left foot clips completely into his knee, which looks super painful. Number 14 is horrible. If you watch the rock that Sora tricked Powerlid into lifting in slow motion, it just looked like his neck snapped. It looks so bad and it's so painful, and he's just basically dead, maybe paralyzed for the rest of the show from the neck down.
I must heal.
Oh, of course.
To do that, there's only one place we must go. The Spectral Lands.
Number 15, as we get a close-up of Raz saying we need to go to the Spectral Lands, you notice two little indentations on his right eyes, possibly being old scars from a previous battle. I think little details like that always just go a long way. And that is all for every detail I found in this episode. Thank you so much for making it this far, and as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.